Okay, can I get 20 tacos? So can I get 2 of everything except veggie? And then instead can I get 4 birria and then 4 thinking chorizo?
For birria, for chorizo?
Yeah. Or maybe a cochinita.
And cochinita? Sure.
No. 4 cochinita and just 2 chorizo. Yeah.
It's 2 carnitos, 4 birria, 2 chorizo, 2 chicken, 4 cochinita pibil, 2 carne ranchera, 2 nopales, and 2 sauces with chipotle.
Yeah.
Perfect. Any sauce for your order?
No, I'm good.
It's ready there.
Thank you.
For here to go.
To go. Do you hear that? I'm starting off this episode by ordering 20 tacos. Look, it's my show. Look, it's my show. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. So I got 20 tacos. So let me recap my day so far. So far, I woke up at 5 a.m. Proceeded to make my chia. I started making my chia in the day. Now instead. Because I've noticed I've been looking forward to my afternoon chia seeds too much. I said that's the best part of the day. I started joking around saying, "Oh, that's the best part of the day. That's the best part. I look forward to that day, that part of the day." But why am I waiting for the good part of the day? You know? I'm like, why don't I start the chia seeds in the morning? And then every day is good by default. I've already had my chia. This is already the best possible day. Because the worst outcome in my day is I don't have my chia. That's the worst outcome. I dread that's even a possibility. For me to be so unlucky, for me to have to suffer a tragedy such as that. Yo, but here's the thing. There's the saying, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. And frankly, I can't stand that. I can't stand that saying because it's inaccurate. It's inaccurate. It's a fallacy. Because if they were truly your worst enemy, you would wish that upon them. No? If they were true, if you saw someone who had a wasp nest and two beehives just plump right on their head. The wasp, actually no, it'll be one hive, then it'll be the wasp, and then it'll be another hive. It's like a sandwich. It's just on the head. Boom, boom, boom. So they're encased now. Imagine that in a 3-layer coffin, head coffin. So you see that, say, I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. That means they weren't truly your worst enemy. If someone wronged me to such a degree that was unforgivable, if someone were to knock on I'm not even gonna say that person. I'm gonna say if someone were to strike down Gerald from across the road, and me and Gerald are best friends, and someone struck him down in cold blood, I would wish that upon them, no? So it brings a new meaning, a new depth to I wouldn't wish that upon. So you got to reevaluate. And in the exact same way, I say in the opposite. When I say by any means necessary, I truly mean by any means necessary. When you say by any means necessary, if you set your future and you say this will be it, and you're willing to take by any means necessary, you must understand the gravity, the weight that holds. A lot of people make empty promises. They It's because it's easy. It's easier in a way to keep promises to someone else because they exist. They're real. They, the consequence they will reprimand you for. They will scold you. They will react. But the thing is, when you're making promises to yourself, you are the only person that can hold yourself accountable. You are the only person that can hold yourself responsible. But look. I also say, you got to give yourself grace like it's candy. You have to give yourself grace like it's candy. And I got a sweet tooth, so I'm giving myself grace. But you have to give yourself grace. But you also have to be the one to push for yourself. I saw a video on TikTok earlier. I saved it because it was so funny. The guy was like, "Oh, I'm gonna tag him. I'm gonna tag him." I'm actually gonna look at my phone right now, and I'm going to. Okay, hello. It's Adrian. It's Adrian Peru. I watched this video, and he's saying, "This is me 1 year ago." And it's him 1 year ago, and he say, 1 year into the future, I'm gonna be buff and jacked. I'm gonna go to the gym every day. I'm locking in. This is my year. Everything's going according to plan. And I'm gonna come back in 1 year and make the difference. In 1 year, I'm coming back in 1 year. And then it cuts to a year, and it's today. It's March 3rd. And he looks the same. And he said, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about this. And and he looks the exact same. He's like, but this is my year. But this is my. And but I do have to say this. 1 year ago, he said, and if I don't, I'm gonna shave my head. You guys gotta hold me responsible. And I don't see his head bald right now, so I would be remiss if I didn't mention that part. You could have. I'll give you your shout out. I'm not gatekeeping. You're funny. You're funny. You're a funny man. But where's the bald head, brother man? Where's the bald Adrian Peru? Where's your bald head? But getting back to it. Look, you have to hold yourself accountable. And when I say by any means necessary, I understand that I must. Look, I've been training. There's a push-up contest on Friday. I set this up 2 months ago. Well, at the beginning of January, now it's March 6th. Well, it's going to be March 6th. It's March 3rd right now. We're 3 days out. And when February hit, I said to myself, I have to do 100 push-ups and 100 crunches every day. I have to be ready by any means necessary. Failure is not an option. Look, there's no reason I should take it this serious. There's not a single thing compelling me. It's not like there are any stakes. I was just shooting the ish with Charles, and he's saying, let's do a push-up contest. You and me, man. You and me. I'm like, yeah, brother. Look, if you want to have fun, if you want to shoot the shiz, we could shoot the shiz. And before that, he said he only needed 2 months, and that's because I said when January hit, I said, give me 3 months. All I need is 3 months. I'll be ready in 3 months. Everyone's asking me, Trey, Mexican man, it's Mr. Sombrero, the Morocco whistler. They're asking, say, Trey, where's your crown? No. They said, Trey, what do you need to be ready for? What's happening in 3 months? Because I started this. I started my regimen. I went back to the gym every single day. Well, Monday to Friday, you gotta also do the rest days. You gotta give yourself grace like it's candy. You have to give yourself grace like it's candy. But plus, they're foundational. The rest days are crucial that's when the muscle actually recovers and it builds itself stronger. Don't overwork yourself. There's a line, but I'm saying, Trey, what you gotta be ready for? I've been saying it to everyone. By any means necessary. I'm in season. I cannot fail. So I'm telling Charles about by any means necessary. I'm telling him by any means, and he's like, what's happening in 3 months? What's happening in 3 months? I told him life. I have to be ready for anything that life can throw at me. Every time I have an adventure, and every time it's grander than the last, without fail. So I have to be ready for this adventure that I seek, because I'm greedy. I told you, the more you reach, the more you get. I'm gonna reach. I'm going to reach. I told you I'm a dreamer, so I'm going to dream big. And when you dream big, you have to be ready for what comes. I said it last episode, and I'll say it again. I'm not scared of failure. I'm scared of the problems. I'm scared of the problems that come with success. I'm scared. I dread what happens after my success, because I know then I have to work harder. I know I have to work harder every single time. But there's no other option. You either fail and stay where you are. Dread the failure. No, dread the success, because you can always fail. But you can always succeed. And when you succeed, it changes that failure. I'm just saying. Look, the more you reach, the more you get. Right now, I'm waiting for my tacos. I'm still waiting. I'm still outside. The more you reach, the more you get in this life. I'm a dreamer, so when I tell you I have dreams. I have dreams of an era unbeknownst to man. I will bring forth. I'm told that they're fantasies, delusions of grandeur. Even I'm told that I'm not even dreaming. These are just thoughts. It's not a night dream. It's a daydream. It's barely cognizant. What drives you? And what drives me is an opportunity, a chance. The chance to dream bigger than last. So you ask, what do I have to be ready for? I have to be ready for the world. I have to be ready for everything and anything. Right now, I'm working on trucks. I'm lifting up these trucks easy. I went to the gym earlier. So let's recap. After the Chia, so I woke up 5 a.m., had the Chia, talked to my mom a little bit, texted, went to work, worked on trucks, and big truck mechanic things. Then I went to the gym. I'm curling. I'm doing back buys. And yesterday I did 45s. I never tried that in my life. I never tried curling 45 with a dumbbell in my life. But I said, today's the day. You know what? I'm looking at it. I said, let's see how much I could do. I do the 45 and say, oh, and I start repping. I said, wait, because this is the consistency I had before. It's the consistency I had before that stacked. It's not just some miracle. I've been in this for a while, but this wasn't what I was testing. I was getting the groundwork so I could shoot. It's the groundwork, fellas. The groundwork I will preach every time, every day and every night. If you get a solid foundation, you could muck around later and still be good. It's that groundwork. If you get yourself going in the right direction, sail in the right way. You may not be perfect. You may not be pinpoint accurate, but you're on the right track. And if you veer off a bit to the right, eso, or a little bit to the left, eso, you can always make your way back. But it's when you go the other way, when you didn't start at all. Look, it's that groundwork. I'm never ashamed of starting slow and low. When you do something for the first time, it's the first time you do it. It's gonna be the slowest. It should be the slowest. because you should be observing, you should be aware and focused. You should be in it. You should your process that you make is cultivated off of that experience alone. The very first time you handle something, the very first time, it builds everything from how you handle it later on. Right? If you get bad training on how to change brakes, if you get good training on how to change brakes, the first time I got trained on brakes, it was God's sense. He was a miracle man. Kevin and Albert, all the way back in high school, 6 years ago, co-op. But if you get trained on how to change brakes, and they teach you every step by step, and the reason why you do each part, why your arms move in the way they do, if they tilt a 25 to the left here and a 5 over here, and then it makes it easier to pop up. Understand what's going on. And when you understand what's going on, the next time it's built off of that. So if you don't understand how, you're lacking. You're lacking something. So the first time it should be the slowest, so you could be in the process. But back on point. Back to the point here. What you gotta remember? I went inside and got the tacos. I now have the 20 tacos. It's a good day. I can't complain. I took today's opportunity, and I am beyond grateful. So as I was saying, it's the groundwork. It's the groundwork. So even though I never touched those 45s before, I said, today's the day I'm repping. And today I'm back. I'm looking at the 45s, and I said, no. I didn't know I could do 45, but if I could rep 45, then maybe I could touch a 50. I do a 50. I said, it's not the cleanest. I only got about 4 good on each arm, and then the next 4 were a bit of. But I said, I didn't know. Each day is an opportunity. I just try it out. That's all I know how. So when I tell you I'm a dreamer, and by any means necessary, you need to understand the gravity of that. It's by any means necessary. By any means. So I'm ready. And even when I'm ready, I'm not ready. Charles asking, what are you ready for? What are you getting ready for? I'm getting ready for anything. Randomly in May, I told you last episode, randomly in May, all of a sudden, all of us actually know this was before May. This was 2 days before the beginning of May, because this was on a Thursday, on a Wednesday. Then on Friday is when I left. 2 days before I bought a plane ticket, bought a cruise ticket, ended up being out of the country for a month, just going around. A week in New York, a week in Brooklyn, a week in Mexico, a week on a cruise. A week here, a week there, everywhere a week, Olmec week, had a farm, but yeah, man. So I bought the tickets, and then I spent a whole month out of the country. I ended up on a bike tour in Brooklyn by accident. I was just renting a bike by accident. But it happens. The more you reach, the more you get. When I rented that bike in the morning, and it was the morning, because the baby shower was on Sunday, and we go back to the dad's house for an after party. There was no after party. There was no party. I felt scammed, but it's okay. But it's okay. We ended up going to bootleg Denny's. But it's okay. And we wanted to, my sister wanted to go to Denny's. She's never been. They said no, bootleg Denny's better. Bootleg Denny's bootleg. Mira. But but yeah, so and this finish up. Was at like 3 a.m. goes to like 5 a.m. Now we're done, and it's about 6 a.m. 6 a.m. I said, okay, you know what? I saw as we were going around, they have the bikes. They have those rentable bikes, and I love renting them here in Toronto. So that, you know, you go downtown, they have the little rentable bikes. They don't sponsor me, but yeah, you rent them, and they're too expensive now. If they're I gotta make sure I don't do it anymore over here because it's too expensive. They're price gouging, especially for the electric. But it's okay. That's the world. So is the world. But they are. But it was a novelty in Brooklyn, so I did it. It ended up costing me the same amount. It was actually kind of crazy. I ended up spending like $100, like USD. So that's like 140 Canadian. But it was worth it because it was my ride for this bike tour that I did not fully sign up for. But yeah. Allegedly, because I just kind of signed up there. But yeah, so then when I rented that bike, I just wanted to go around. I just wanted to sightsee. I just wanted to see Brooklyn. I never been. That was my first time in Brooklyn. That was my very first time in Brooklyn, New York. And I just wanted to see. It kind of looked all the same, but it reminded me of Toronto, so it's okay. You know, and it was a new place. It was cool. And I'm renting, and then I find out, I'm just asking locals. There was a guy biking. I asked this guy biking. He's cycling. Oh, do you know any spots to cycle? Are there any cool things to see? He said, go to the Brooklyn Bridge. I said, oh, my calling. Oh, I've heard about the Brooklyn and a bridge. Oh, my calling. Look, adventure happens when you answer the call. Adventure happens when you answer the call. Every day is an opportunity. I swear to you. You just have to listen. You just have to listen. It beckons. It yearns. It lusts for. The lust I have for life is unparalleled. Because I've realized the more I dream, the better it gets. So I'm dreaming and I'm curling 50s. Oh, you're a big strong man. I remember when you were a small little youth, a small kid, eh? I remember when you were a tiny man. Tiny. Yo, I was the shortest in all of my class pictures in middle school. Actually, elementary school, middle school, and high school. I was the shortest in the world. They used to call me Short Kevin Hart. You know how messed up that is? They used to call me Short Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's already short. They would call me short Kevin Hart. What are we doing? They called me Kevin Hart squared. How they were like, you funnier and you shorter. Whoa, how am I supposed to feel about this? How am I supposed to feel about this? What's going on? I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I was told I do that. But yeah. It's my segue, it's my transition. I'll just but yeah. Like, if you acknowledge your character flaws, then it becomes a strength. Kinda, not fully. But yeah, getting back to it. The more you dream, the more you get. So I'm dreaming. I'm a dreamer. So he talks about the Brooklyn and the bridge, but he also said, "But beware, young traveler." And this is like a I'd say this is like a middle age. He's probably like 23. He had the full cycling attire. He had the full attire. You know, with the even I don't think he had the hat. I think he may have had the hat. I actually have footage of this. This is also on my Instagram, Just King Trey. But but yeah, so he had the full attire, and he said, "But be wary, young traveler. There's a bike tour happening." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, okay." And mind you, I only learned how to ride a bike like 3 years ago, and it was renting those the city bikes. I rented it with my boys, Jimmy, Savoy. You'll hear those names, but we rode around, and I sucked. I remember I crashed into a pole. I remember I have a video. I was trying to record and also cycle. I said, "We outside. I'm falling," and and fell. I just fell. That's also on there. But so the more you dream, the more you reach, the more you get. I sound like a broken record, but I feel like that's what I've had to do to instill it into myself. You gotta remember. You have to remember. It's imperative. You have to remember that every moment that you walk, from the moment you open your eyes, you have a chance. I was excited today. Usually I struggle with waking up. It's not the alarm waking me up. It's me getting up. If I'm late, I just didn't want to get out of bed. I'm putting snooze. I want to do everything but get out of bed. But today, and yesterday, when I woke up, I woke up with glee. I wake up happy regardless nowadays, because I remember I had an ex-girlfriend, and she told me, we had a sleepover, and she's like, you grumpy. We had sleepover like 2 days ago, and she's like, you grumpy. You're grumpy in the mornings. I'm like, oh, you want me to be happy? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I mean, I might as well be happy. And I just tried it. I was just like, I'll just not be grumpy. You know, it sounds funny, but it's really as simple as that. Because I realize my attitude is sour. I'm irritable. I'm lazy in the morning. I'm content. What's the word I'm looking for? Contempt. You could have contempt for me, but yeah, that's not it. Detestable. I'm like, I could be a detestable person, deplorable even. Like I am a different person because I'm groggy, and I didn't like waking up back then. Because when you woke up, I didn't like that I didn't know what was to come. Because when you have your day and you go to bed, you know you choose when your day ends. You've already had everything happen. Nothing's really gonna surprise. It's when you go to bed and wake up, that's when a new day begins, and that's when all sorts of things. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that possibility. I was scared of that, and it made me bitter. It made me resentful, but it also made me grouchy. Just because I didn't want that part of the day. I didn't want that part. So I realized all of this. I took all of this into consideration, and I said, okay, well, how can I be a more pleasant person to be around? You know? But yeah, how can you be a more pleasant person to be around in the mornings when you do this? So I'm like, wait, I mean, I don't like doing that, and I'm not like that normally, so I'll just keep this in mind, and I don't be happier. And I did. I mean, now I'm low-key a morning person. It's a change in perspective. It's a shift in perspective. That's all I gotta say. It's a shift. So I'm a dreamer. I didn't imagine to be in a bike tour, but then I see all the bikers. I go, and now I see it's 40,000 people. 40,000 people. Huh? And I'm in this bike tour with 40,000 people. I said, huh? I'm riding this electric bike. I'm going on the highways. They shut down highways for this. I'm going on the highways. I'm going through parks. I said, oh, this is where they shot Home Alone. I stopped in the park and got a hot dog where they shot Home Alone. In the middle of this bike race. In the middle of this Tour de France. I stopped in the middle. We also passed a fire station at some point, and you know what I did? I stopped. I actually passed them, then I circled back and I said, wait. I kinda want a photo. And I got in the fire truck. I turned around, drove back down, and in the background you could see in the video you could see. The more you reach, the more you get. Before anything can come into this reality, it must be imaginary. So, all I'm trying to do, what I advocate for is dreams. I advocate for dreams. Look, I keep it $1.25 every single day. I can't do it any other way. And right now, I'm actually about to stuff a taco in my face. Most definitely. So I'm gonna have to end this off soon. But my day was good. I had my chia, and you know what my mom told me after we were done talking? She said, have a chia day. Why do you support my nonsense, woman? There's no way you just told me that. There's no way you just said have a chia day. Like, that's the funniest thing ever. Because, you know, I've started to say, yo, if someone bumps into me or I'm like, oh, instead of saying like, oh, it's cool, I just say, oh, it's chia. It's chia. I'm so annoying, brother. I'm so annoying. But I'm allowed to be. We all are. We're all allowed to just try something. I'm not hurting nobody with my chia. I'm mindful. At least I try to be. Look, I had my chia. I had made some breakfast. I made dinner yesterday. I did make dinner yesterday as well. I did chia, work. I even packed a lunch. I had a snack. I'll talk about my bird app another time. Yo, I have this bird app, Finch. That's what. Whenever I refer to bird, whenever I say bird, I'll talk about my bird later too. But whenever I talk about my bird app, I'm talking about the Finch. It's basically just a note. It's basically just notes. It's a reminder app, and I write down things that I'm supposed to do. Like, did you brush your teeth? Did you upload an episode of your podcast? Did you eat dinner? Did you eat lunch? Did you make sure you eat your 3 snacks? Are you drinking water? Like, I forget. I have bad object permanence, which basically means it's a fancy way of saying I suck at remembering. But yeah, when something isn't in my eye line, I forget about its existence essentially. But you know, that's just as I said, I got bad memory, lol. But yeah, so I have bad object permanence, so I write all these things down just to jot myself. And my bird app, it helped. I've realized I've been no, I gotta talk about the bird next episode. I'm getting too hyped because This is what I've needed. This is the bird and the seeds, the chia seeds, and with my wheats, I got ancient grains now. Anyways, this is Atreyu. This is Atreyu. I'm signing off on my podcast. I'm signing off. The podcast sign off.